Okay.
Rolling video.
Cool. Well, here we go again.
Yeah, we're back.
We are so back.
We're so fucking back.
Yes, we are.
So fucking back.
Yeah, well, what's going on?
Yeah, well, you know.
Let
Look,
me check.
here's what's going on. I'll tell you exactly.
I'm not sure what's going on. I gotta check first.
Yeah, I'm dealing with fucking people on eBay.
Really?
And the Postmaster General.
Really?
Yeah, I'm dealing with the Postmaster
he's
General.
Screwing you.
Yeah, Postmaster General's up my ass. No, I just someone got something from eBay and it was broken.
Yeah.
And then I refunded them and then I was like, oh shit. Hey, can you take that into the post office for inspection? And yeah, the postmaster for the whatever that region came in to be to inspect it, I guess.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Like you were flagged for some reason, or it was like a random thing?
No. I guess it's just I don't know.
Like a quality control guy?
Yeah, probably.
Think?
Yeah,
right.
to just to make sure that it's.
Yeah.
And they're finding me at fault. So I underpacked the unit.
You underpacked the unit.
They're nuts, dude.
That's
I packed the fuck out of those units, bro.
You know how to pack a unit.
I've packed a unit or two in my time.
I should know.
Yeah, I packed your unit.
Sure, many a
Into this
time.
tight little butt.
And it's not easy.
Into this sweet, tight little butt.
I'm a big unit to pack.
Fuck yeah.
Not that I'm not tight. No, but 1775 coffee. Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
Because there's 1776 folks that are all about that. Are you one of those, kind of?
What do you mean?
I
think
it's sort of libertarian type of people.
I think the answer to 1984 is 1776.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking tyranny update or whatever. What is it that Alex Jones says?
Yeah. Yes, dude. Breaking tyranny update, man.
Yeah.
The President Donald Trump has been assassinated, says the leader of the Proud Boys on the day day that he was shot in Butler. Did I show you that one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It said that at the top, and then it had a bunch of stanzas, just empty.
Yeah.
And then it was says leader of the so then you had to click show more. You had to click show more to see.
Right.
Says
right.
Whatever the January 6th guy that they got out.
Wow, that's
hilarious.
It's hilarious. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
But then that's somebody's job on his team. You make a career doing shit like that.
Yeah. Just making
clickbait.
Sensationalist headlines. Yeah, because that was that was just a few weeks ago that he put that up.
Right.
So then you're like, what the hell? Again, they tried? Oh my God, this time they succeeded? What's going on? No. Just this guy's sensationalist headlines, dude.
You do a spit take.
Yeah.
You start freaking out at the office. Oh my God, the president's been shot. Oh my God. You jump out the window.
Oh, sorry, I didn't click read more. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't click read more, so I didn't know the whole story, I guess.
Some super MAGA guys up on the roof. They're like, don't jump. And he's like, the president's dead. There's nothing else matters.
Nothing to live for.
No, you got to click read more. There's more to read, There's more to life than you think. There's more to read on that tweet. Yep,
that's the good shit.
Anyway, 1775 coffee. I saw an ad for that the other day, and I wrote it down because this is for our fans. We're going to be reviewing all the gay political coffee, and we're going to do a little taste test.
We're going to find out which coffee is the best.
Yes.
We're going to find out, hey, look.
Yes.
You know what I think we're going to find out? I think we're going to find out that there's probably some terrible ones on both sides and probably one or two good ones.
Yeah, well, I did.
On both sides.
I had a Black Rifle subscription when I was living by myself
for
a year. And it's pretty good. It was as good as the mestizo shit that was at the gay coffee shop by me.
Yeah.
I did that for a year as well, where I would just walk down and get the beans.
Yeah. Black Rifle coffee, when we do that one, that's a radical left wing coffee. It is.
Yes.
You know about
Are
that?
they really?
Well, they did.
Is it like a George Soros coffee or something?
They put like an op-ed in, I forget which newspaper, but it was about how Rittenhouse was a murderer.
Oh,
yeah.
They went anti-Rittenhouse.
Yeah. So it's funny to be like, oh, you're against Rittenhouse? Radical left-wing coffee. Yeah.
Wow, lizard people coffee.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren coffee.
Yeah, Liz Cheney coffee.
Liz Cheney. That's what I was thinking. I couldn't get there.
Well, either way, they're both. They're. Well, Liz Cheney would be a rhino.
Yeah.
The way I would do her, I don't know.
What was the other? Oh yeah. So we got that. We'll do. Starbucks is probably gay. I'm sure they've done some gay pride stuff.
Oh yeah, they always do that.
Yeah,
they're big on that.
Yeah,
and also Starbucks seems to be, as far as like places that serve food, they're the big ones that are always like striking. It's kind of like Amazon. Yeah, I mean it never goes anywhere, it never does anything. It's always like the gayest people striking.
Yeah,
and so Starbucks is like. I don't know. I guess they're the new McDonald's, but I was kind of thinking about Amazon. Like they're just experts at squashing that shit. McDonald's probably is too.
Yeah.
But if you're an employee there, you probably have that book. What was that book you got at the thing? The Harry Potter Book of Spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the?
You got that, and you have.
Coffee do they drink?
What's the Satanic Bible?
Oh yeah, definitely that.
Dude, yes. They think that's edgy to have the Satanic Bible.
Yes,
that's like weird.
Restaurant workers.
Yeah,
they're all like that.
Yeah,
they're all like that.
Restaurant workers.
I've worked at a restaurant. Yes.
Yeah,
I did Satanism.
Yeah, yeah, they all have the Satanic Bible.
I let Satan inside me.
They're all just like communists.
yeah, they are. Like no, they straight up are.
They are, I know.
They are.
I know plenty of them.
They love Karl Marx.
Yeah.
They walk in with a Karl Marx face shirt.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ooh.
Ooh.
Or that's what they think in their mind.
Yeah.
They're like, uh-oh, what am I going to wear to work?
Che Guevara.
And then they have to cover it up with their actual work shirt, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But Che Guevara, fucking. It's people right out of college, and they got, like I did,
tricked
some degree that's just horseshit where you don't learn anything at all.
Yeah, or they got tricked.
Yeah, they got tricked. Everything they know is from the internet.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not one of these people. I just have a different
shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to wear shirts that say Green Bay.
Yes.
And nothing else. I need to get a shirt like that. I have a hat and a mural. I need a fucking I need a shirt that says Green Bay.
That'd be good. Yeah.
And then nothing else. Green Bay, period.
Yeah.
But it's the right colors. Anyway. Starbucks. We'll try that. We'll try fucking Black Rifle, and I'm sure there's much gayer ones than Starbucks. There has to be.
Oh yeah. This is
what made me do it. It's the coffee grift.
Yeah. It's that everyone does. That's bipartisan.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Both sides want to sell you drop shipped coffee.
Yes.
That is just a cheap,
What does drop ship even mean? I thought that was like...
Drop ship is you have your, so I would have my website, and it would be like, buy fucking, Poopy brand coffee.
Yeah.
And then I would send that order in to the company, and they would private label Poopy brand coffee on their bag of coffee, and they would ship it directly to the consumer.
Yeah.
So it's like drop shipping is you take the order, but then you send the order to someone who ships it to the.
Yeah.
So
essentially, it's what every company does.
Yeah, you would just never touch product.
Well, right. Yeah. Well, that's the business model. That it's the Amazon business model, and it's taken over every industry.
Yeah.
Because you can make billions of dollars if. if you're just higher up on the,
Yeah, I mean that's
pyramid.
kind of how how we got these would be someone.
Yeah.
Someone was stupid.
Probably everything I'm wearing, honestly.
Well, someone was just stupid with these, I think, and they bought a ton of them.
Yeah.
And couldn't move them, so then they just sat in their inventory, and then they had a storage unit, and eventually the storage unit got auctioned off.
Yes.
To some lady who was a hoarder. And then then she died, and I went to her house.
Wow.
and bought a ton of glasses that I'm not going to be able to move.
Dude, you should be you should be the star of a Pixar movie or something. That's what I'm imagining. This whole process.
Yeah, I just love the idea of like going to an estate sale and buying just a ton of their stuff and being like, look, listen, I know her name was Denise or whatever, right? But look, I think you're going to be a little short on the engraving. You're going to have to go with Dennis, okay? Because I can only do $100 on all this stuff. So you're going to be one letter short on that engraving. But hey.
Yeah.
Or just like they had to downgrade the casket because of the amount that I gave. like they're like, yeah, we can't afford oak. She's going in pine now.
Yeah. They have to compress her into a cube and bury that.
Yeah, honestly, we sold all those books to that guy and we didn't know the value of them, so we're just donating her body to science. So I'm the scientist too. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you're donating the body.
Yeah.
I can get some good money out of this.
Science won't take her. We have to donate her to a bonfire. Someone paid us $20 to burn her. Yeah. So it's a sick world out there, but
these people are sick.
Yeah, but we've got our coffee, and we've got. Now, I was going to say about 1775. It's like, I guess they're trying to be even more extreme than 1776.
Yeah,
because 1776 was that the Constitution or was that the Declaration?
It was Declaration.
It was the Declaration. Do you know what was going on a year before? They were dependent.
Yeah, there was all kinds of the lead up to the Revolutionary War was all like the king trying to tax our shit, and then like the Boston Tea Party, and then you had
when was the Boston Tea Party roundabouts? Do you know?
I don't remember the years.
Right, but it was before the Declaration.
Yeah,
right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds
right. And then what was the big one? Concord.
The Concord. What was the deal?
Right.
Would they set it on fire?
No, Concord. Isn't that where they
Lexington and Concord?
Yeah.
The big battle.
Isn't that the first one?
That's the first one I ever heard about.
That's where they tried to take the guns. I'm pretty sure that's where they tried to take the guns.
Oh, the British tried to take the guns.
Yes.
Wow. And they're still doing that today.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty sweet.
Consistent.
Yep.
Nice. Wow.
And no one knows who fired the first shot.
Right.
But it's somehow the shot heard around the world.
So everyone heard it.
In the entire world.
They had a lot of stuff going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were looking down at their phones or something.
Probably.
Saw it. Yeah, so 1775, I guess that's just, I don't know.
Muslim extremist coffee.
Yeah, what is it? Is that
That's
like,
what I want, dude. I want to try the radical Islam.
Yeah.
I want to try disgusting Israeli coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only one that I just like. I spit out. I start throwing up.
Right. Yeah, and whatever Gavin Newsom's pushing, that'll probably be the
it's coming. If he doesn't have a coffee out, it's coming.
Or I wonder if there's like a Ukraine one.
Yeah, I bet.
There's got to be. Or, just any coffee that puts that on their thing. Like, we stand with Ukraine. We roast with Ukraine.
Yeah, we burn. We burn along with.
Burn Ukraine alive with Ukraine. What were we going to say about Bill Maher? We've been discussing him of late.
We were watching Bill Maher.
Yeah, we watched Bill Maher. That was fun. That was a hoot. Because he went and talked to Trump.
Yeah.
And he made a big deal about it afterwards.
Yeah. That was it. We watched that episode.
That's right. But like, what's the game there? What's he trying to do? Because like, is that related to
Kid Rock?
Is that Israel getting all of their apologists like together, like to form some kind of strong coalition of?
I have no clue.
Like, all right, Billy, you got to go be friends with Trump now.
Yeah, if they're getting their apologists together, then it's gonna be quite a big meeting.
Yeah,
quite a big meeting.
Yeah,
but,
probably.
Yeah,
probably. Now, who do you think was behind killing the president? If you had to guess, the attempt. The attempt.
Ukraine.
You think what is there like strong evidence for that?
Yeah, Ukraine, but it's used as a proxy for NATO. NATO tried to kill him. NATO's actually
using Ukrainian, like their CIA or whatever. Do they have a CIA? Like what part of Ukraine? What part of the government or whatever?
The people. So the one guy, he was like fighting. It's obviously on Zelensky. It's on Zelensky's side.
Yeah.
But they're a proxy for NATO.
Yeah.
So really it's NATO. That's what it really comes down to.
It really boils down to NATO.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the inner workings of,
Yeah.
Who did what with Ukraine.
Right.
The thing is, Ukraine is the scapegoat for what NATO is doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now what else?
And NATO is the scapegoat.
Yes.
For what Israel's doing.
Right.
So.
And for a lot of what we do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of scapegoats for shit we do. I mean, do you think it goes back to anyone inside the U.S.? Like if you go back one more layer or step from NATO, do you think it goes back to the U.S. at all?
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are part of that faction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of that.
Damn.
There's tons of people in the United States who are corrupt as fuck. What do you mean?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course. No question.
And do you think they stopped trying, or or is it just really hard to do?
Oh, I'm sure it's very difficult to do.
Right.
I bet they're working up a scheme or two.
Mm-hmm. But Trump is very he's it's not like he's going up against Israel on anything. Yeah, he's black.
Yeah.
Black as fuck. Boy.
He's Jewish.
He's Jewish and he's trans.
Yeah.
And he's a comedian in Salt Lake City. Named Christian Tibbetts.
Yeah. Sure. Yep.
No, but Trump, that's all I can think about. Every day when I wake up, I go through YouTube, and if any of the accounts I follow, if they aren't talking about Trump, I get so mad. I just, until I find one that is.
Yeah. Ignore. I just want to hear it from the man himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other? Let's stop talking about gay shit.
Sure.
Let's talk about. Oh, we watched that Black Mirror episode. That was good.
The Star Trek one was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The two episodes. If you haven't seen this, it's just Google it or something. It's Black Mirror, Star Trek, and you'll find it. It's like the last episode of the last season is part 2, and then the season before was part 1. That was sweet.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
It was awesome. And if you watch them back to back, it's like watching a really long movie. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new season was, I think, really good.
I like the idea. Like a lot of the ideas they have for like future technology are pretty cool. Like I'm usually not into sci-fi, but I think like the whole thing where you put a thing on your head and then you like go into a virtual thing.
Yeah.
and all the implications of that. That's pretty awesome. Like a lot of the episodes are kind of about that idea. Like, what if this is a thing? Or like, it reminded me of the one where, remember where the lady like created a clone of herself, a digital clone. There's a lot of shit about digital clones and like it makes you feel for them, you know, like they're little people. And then that guy's going in there and I thought he would just be raping the shit out of him, but he was.
They didn't even have genitals.
He was just making him do a play every day forever. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it, but it was pretty damn good. Yeah. And we were saying it was better than anything Disney has made in like 50 years.
Yeah. And if it would have included, you know, him raping them all.
5 out of 5.
It would have been,
if you did that.
It would have been better than anything Disney has ever done. What was the... Oh, yeah.
Song of the Plow.
I remembered this thing about when I used to work at giant food stores in Enola, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I don't know that brand or whatever. I've never seen a giant food store. Is it pretty big?
No, it's just a local grocery store.
Right,
but it's called Giant.
Yeah, sounds kind of small.
Yeah.
And I used to bag groceries and push carts.
Wow.
You know, when I was a little 15, 16, whatever.
Nice.
Bagging groceries, because my dad worked there. He worked in the freezer department.
Right.
And I pushed grocery carts, and I would always have my headphones in, and I would be listening to A Day to Remember. Like A Day to Remember, a little ADTR.
I don't know.
I would listen to that in 4 Years Strong and stuff, you know, and I'd just be fucking in your feels, dude. Listen to your...
Yeah.
Right. Not Screamo for me, but whatever. Yeah.
I mean, neither one of those are really Screamo bands, but anyways, listening to music, and then they pulled me into the office one day because they were like, hey, you can't be listening to music. And I said, well, the other guy who pushes carts is literally deaf. So I didn't see what the big deal was.
Right.
And they're like, well, we can control this. And I was like, I guess. But what's it matter if you hear?
Yeah, you should have learned sign language. That would have been the move.
Oh, just pretend like I can't hear?
Yeah.
In the meeting, even though I've talked to the manager forever. Yeah, exactly.
So you just show up one day doing that.
Yeah. But then I just put one in and tried not to get caught.
Yeah.
But we didn't have Bluetooth, so I just have a fucking string hanging.
Do you think that's why kids do that hairdo where it like goes like over your ears and it's just kind of like this, just around your head, and it's all like swooshy? And do you think that's so they can just have earbuds in and
not listen to anybody?
Notice, like in school and stuff?
Probably.
That's got to be it.
My friends would wear hoodies in the summertime, and they have it through there and just be like that.
That's the move.
Yeah, but now we have Bluetooth. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, we got
fucking chat badge.
Now, apparently, that is going to give us all cancer, according to RFK.
Is that what he said?
RF frequency.
That's not a K.
RFK is talking about RFF.
Okay.
Apparently, it's a big problem, and nobody's.
Is that what the K stands for? Is frequency? Robert
as far as I know, it's a silent K.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do about that. I heard wired ones are better, but they're still not ideal. And the ideal thing is taking all your calls and listening to everything on speakerphone. So it's just being an asshole. That's
okay.
Like assholes are the healthiest people. They're gonna procreate more, and their children will be healthier.
Assholes live forever.
Cancer free. Assholes prosper. Yeah, and homeless guys, homeless guys never have headphones. I've never seen a homeless guy with a phone. Homeless guys find the biggest speaker that they can defend with a knife.
Yeah.
And they blast it as loud as possible.
Yeah.
And that's how homeless guys roll. So most of the time it's just their phone, but then sometimes they'll get a hold of a bike and a speaker on wheels somehow. You ever see that guy?
Yeah, you're talking about Radio Raheem.
Exactly.
Radio Raheem was
going to eventually become homeless.
Yes. Well, a lot of those guys, because it's the projects, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one step above homelessness.
Yeah.
You know?
I might be homeless, but I got this cool ass stereo that'll defend with a knife.
Yeah. Or it's like guys who live in the trailer and then get a fucking Escalade or whatever.
Yeah. Which we didn't talk about that, like the Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
What was the deal with the radio thing where it was like the boombox off? It was like they just tried to who has a louder boombox.
Yeah, which one is a louder?
Is that a common thing in the hood? Is like my boombox is louder than your boombox.
Yeah, I guess.
Check that out.
Yeah, I always figured. I've never been to the hood myself.
Yeah.
So
they do that with cars, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which car is the bounciest?
Hey, I may be living out of it, but look at how loud this car is.
Right. Yeah. Or they make a big deal out of their sneakers. It's like you live in the hood, and then you spend a lot of money on sneakers that if they get a little bit dirty, you freak out.
Yeah.
I mean, get some
whole scene where
some steel toes or something.
Yeah, the whole scene where who was that? Oh, Gus. The whole scene where Gus Fring gets his shoe scuffed.
Right. Oh yeah, Gus Fring's in that movie, which is always surprising. Is that Gus Fring?
Yeah, he's so young in that, dude.
He's so young and he's so black.
Yeah.
Or I guess he's... I think I looked it up one time, and he's... I don't know what he is in real life, but I think he's in between those two characters.
Interesting.
One being sort of Hispanic looking. They just say he's from wherever, and you buy it. The other, a very, very black man.
That's cool.
In the hood. Yeah, he's a very good actor. And the moral of that movie, I'm not really sure what it is other than do the right thing.
Yeah, but then he yells hate.
Hate?
Yeah.
Who yells that?
Spike Lee.
At the end?
When he throws the trash can?
Hate.
He yells, hate.
Oh, that's weird. There's some weird lines in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
there's some sort of over dramatic, cheesy parts of that movie.
Yeah, it really is like a community college.
Yeah, it's like a
project.
play. Yeah, it's like a local play type of thing, type of vibe.
Yeah.
But it's shot very well.
Of course.
The way it's shot is incredible.
Yeah.
And some of the characters are interesting.
Yeah, you can tell he was really young when he made it.
Yeah.
But it's obviously because you see him. But but other than that, like, I mean, he is real. He's a really good filmmaker.
I saw one movie he made, I think it was before that, called She's Gotta Have It. And it's kind of the same vibe, and it's really weird and like sort of artsy and gay.
Yeah.
But then after that, he made Malcolm X. That's a good movie.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not the same style at all. It's just a really well made biopic about Malcolm X.
About Elton John.
Yeah.
Called Malcolm X.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. What do you got in the notes? Anything to...
Oh, I got tons of shit here.
I was going to say...
remember when we stole that kid's lunch at the Ocean Mart?
Oh, dude, the Ocean Mart. Yeah.
This was great. This was epic.
That's the whole story. What do you mean? We
were at Ocean Mart one evening.
Yep.
The two of us and your fiance.
Yep. Purchasing plenty of goods, no services, just goods.
Goods, yeah. Lots of liquid seasoning.
Yeah, you're getting liquid seasoning.
Tons of that
making
there.
pho.
Yeah.
Got all this stuff to make pho.
Yeah, you get the refrigerated, not cooked noodles. The good shit.
Yep. And
some 17-year-old pimply-faced guy. Seemed like a nice enough kid.
Yeah.
Checking us out. Now, how did we get a hold of his lunch? That's what I want to know.
So he had his lunch in a grocery bag sitting on the...
Sitting where our bags were going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was an honest mix-up.
Yeah. So we
Right.
just grabbed all the bags.
Yes.
And when we got in the car, when we were loading it into the car, I was like, why is this one warm? Did we get anything warm? And you guys said no.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. And I walked up and sat in the front seat with it, not walking it back in. Didn't walk it back in.
Yeah.
Sat at the front
Didn't
seat
even
with it.
consider walking back in.
No, not for a second. I opened it up and said, huh? I said, it looks like it's someone's lunch.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we were already driving by that point.
Yeah.
And then came back to the house and ate it.
That was the best part.
Was eating it.
Is
Yeah.
standing in the kitchen and each of us with a fork and being like, all right, who wants to go first?
Yeah.
And then we ate that kid's lunch.
Stealing his
And
lunch.
thinking of his face when he realizes
Oh,
his food
yeah.
is
Where's
good.
my lunch? Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Anyway, he probably gets it for like a discount or something. Although I hope he doesn't because it's even funnier. I
Yeah.
hope he saved up for that lunch.
How many items do you believe you've stolen? In your
Oh,
life?
not very many, but
Someone was stealing from the estate sale today.
really.
Yeah.
And you saw him.
No, the lady was telling me that that there was like, she's like, I'm just glad you paid for this stuff, and she's like, someone was walking out and their shirt was like, like they stuffed the shit.
I have a weird
Yeah.
disease where I look like a VCR, my
Yeah.
belly,
Yeah.
but you don't notice it when I first walk in.
Only upon further inspection do you notice.
Yeah.
What were you about to say? What do you steal? What have you stolen?
Oh, I've stolen, the odd candy bar or two as a child, and
I just want it.
yeah. Well, I would steal salty snacks. I have severe salt cravings
Yeah.
from time to time. Not now. I don't eat anything sweet now. It's all salty.
Yeah.
But what else have I stolen? I mean, I worked at this bodega once, this like convenience store. It didn't have a gas station attached to it, but it just like snacks and sodas and shit. And I would just eat Hot Pockets all day when the owner was gone.
Yeah. When the cat's away.
Yeah, when I knew he
the
wasn't.
mice will eat Hot Pockets.
I would time it because he would come to the store, he would check stuff out, he would count the money, and then he would leave.
He never counted the Hot Pockets.
Exactly. Then he would leave, and it was while he was driving away that I would grab the Hot Pocket out of the fridge and heat it up because I knew he wasn't looking at the cameras.
Nice.
It was a perfect crime.
Yeah.
And he'd pass the savings on. I sent him to all the Ukraine.
Nice.
I want you to know that.
That's good. That's good stuff, bud.
Yeah. It's a shame how much money we haven't given them.
Yeah, we need to send them more.
It's terrible.
We need more.
It's terrible how much money they haven't gotten out of me.
Yeah.
I'm
True.
terrible.
Yeah. It's a tragedy.
Forgive me, Lord, for I have not sent Ukraine enough money yet. That's how I feel. I wish there was a church like that.
Yeah, every morning when I wake up, I just scroll to see how much money I've sent to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And for 4 years, it's been $0. for 4 straight years.
Yeah, good for you. I got to get on that.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'll deal with it eventually.
Right. Oh,
I
yeah.
have to.
You'll be you owe Ukraine. At least I don't owe them any money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just eager to send them more.
I don't owe them for 2 years.
Yeah.
They owe me for 2 years.
Yeah.
But for the other two, yeah, I'm probably gonna owe them a couple dollars.
That's crazy because if I rejoined the Mormons today, they wouldn't make me pay like back tithing.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be like, well, you owe a lot of tithing now. We'll put you on a payment plan. They're just like, all right, just start paying now.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to giving money to our allies
Yeah.
that won't be used here at all,
They charge interest.
they charge interest, exactly. So that tells you something.
Yeah. Yep.
What was I saying the other day that Israel was behind? That wasn't I mentioning something like that to you?
I have no idea.
Oh, must have just been like everything. But have you told the story yet about when you almost got arrested? You almost had like a big time bust when you were like on the way here. Is that a story you're interested in telling publicly?
I think I've told that. I've told that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to have.
Right. We were just laughing the other day about talking to a cop and just being high as fuck and being like, is there a, what is it? What's that phrase you always use? It's articulable.
Oh, yeah.
Reasonable.
Is there any? I'm sorry. What? Oh, yeah. No. The thing was like walking up to a cop because we were standing by the police station, and like the police are just walking, and me just walking up to him and just like bug-eyed staring at him, being like, "Excuse me, officer. Is there a problem? Do you have any reasonable, articulable suspicion that I may have committed a crime?" Okay, well then what are you doing? Carry on.
Saying, what are you doing?
Yeah.
When he approaches you, or you approached him.
Yeah. Why you all up in my shit? Yeah, dude. That's what those the First Amendment auditors, that's basically what they do.
Sovereign citizen types,
yeah, they just walk up to the cops and they're just like, do you have any reasonable... It's like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Fucking chill.
They're starting shit.
Yeah.
But some of that stuff is useful to know in case you ever get in a jam, right?
Oh, bud, I've learned so much from those guys. I've learned so much.
Because they usually do know the law. They're just too paranoid.
Yeah.
About the cop. They're a bunch of 5Ks basically running around.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch Audit the Audit. Highly recommend you watch Audit the Audit.
So I haven't heard this phrase. People call themselves
auditors.
Auditors of what?
First Amendment auditors.
First Amendment auditors.
First Amendment auditors.
Wow.
They'll go into publicly available spaces and just create chaos.
Oh no, I've seen that. Like where a guy will go into a library and just stand there and like stare at people.
Stand there and film.
Yeah, filming himself, just being weird.
Yeah.
And then, because it's like trying to be right on that line where you're not quite doing anything enough where they should call the cops, or like the cops can't do anything.
Yeah, well that's what they do. And then they'll film people until they start calling the cops. And then when the cops show up, they're like, "What's the problem?" I'm sorry, what's the problem? I'm just in a publicly available space where I'm allowed to film.
Right.
And I'm filming.
Yeah.
There were no signs outside this entryway.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's guys that'll just go from like small town to small town. I saw one guy's YouTube channel where it looked like that's what he was doing. He would drive like 45 minutes to some library that'll never be at again. Yeah, post office, right.
And you know what they do is they'll get the cops to step over like their rights in some way.
Yeah.
You know, like the cops won't have suspicion that they've committed a crime, but they'll arrest them anyways.
Right.
And bro, that's when they're putting the cuffs on, those guys are just like payday, jackpot.
Right.
Because they're going to sue the state and they're going to...
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how they make a living. Yeah. Yeah, they probably get more from that than YouTube.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Phew. I could never do that.
Yeah. I would love to.
Yeah.
It would be so fun to do.
Oh, you'd be great at it.
Yeah.
And you should wear what you're wearing now.
Yeah.
And including the shades. That would be awesome.
I just had to, because I've thought about the audits for a while.
Yeah.
But making them funny would be so difficult.
Yeah.
And not being an asshole.
Yeah, the part I don't like about those videos is
the guy doing it.
The guy doing it is an asshole.
Yeah.
But you're saying there's the audit videos where someone will say, like, explain all the laws and everything?
Yeah. For each one, they'll be like, okay, so, you know, this guy goes in and, you know, he's filming, and then the guy will pause the audit, and he'll be like, now he is correct that he's in, you know, this jurisdiction. Yeah. The Supreme Court has long upheld that there's, you know, this right and that, whatever. Yeah. And the guys
That's good to know.
The audit guys are usually, it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the time it's like, no, you actually don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Make sure you're like very well versed in case law before you.
Yeah. A lot of them probably just like, you know, whatever I don't know. Guys will just make up laws and pretend it's real.
Yeah.
And tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
It's probably that shit. Or, I don't know. 4chan shit or something. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine these people. Hey, now we should talk about 4chan, right?
Oh, they're done. They're down.
Yeah,
it's over.
What happened to 4chan?
Someone hacked it. Someone hacked it, and
Right.
I don't know how true this is, but allegedly a lot of the mods on the platform were .gov and .edu emails. Mm-hmm. So doesn't bode well.
.gov and .edu, and that was from a foreign .gov, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But who knows?
If we know where.
We'll wait. We got to wait on that before we start,
Yes.
Yeah.
Ask, do you think Grok would tell the listeners about it if they searched on Grok?
I doubt it.
Which AI do you think would explain
None
it
of them.
properly?
None of them.
Really?
Yeah, Grok's bad too.
Grok's bad.
They all lie to you. Did you know? Have you noticed that?
I knew that, but I thought you could put in like no hallucinations, or there's like a phrase you put in where it won't make stuff up.
Oh, I don't know enough about it.
And I just heard that. That could be a lie too.
Sure.
I mean, we're so deep in lies, it's like crazy.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to start enjoying the lies.
I mean, we watched Bill Maher. We'll watch CNN. We don't CNN or what is it? What's the Rachel Maddow? Oh my God. MSNBC, dude. Yeah, that's a good one.
Right. You like a lot of letters.
Yeah.
Bill Maher is funny because I agree with him like half the time, and I think he's funny like between a third to a half amount of the time. He makes me giggle.
I don't think he reads the news.
No, he has like joke writers and shit.
Yeah.
And he
because he spreads lies too.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like if you read the news, you'd know that that's not true.
Right. Yeah, if you read like anything.
Yeah.
Not that I do. Or ever will.
Yeah.
But I see your point. No, but his show's funny because it's like there's always like one dork like dude in the audience and that laughs really loudly at certain jokes.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell a joke about Trump and there'll be one dude being like, oh, like he'll act like it's I don't know, like it's edgy or something.
Yeah.
To make a Trump joke.
Yeah.
In today's climate.
Yeah.
He has this weird audience. And like I watched his, remember how when you turned on his special and walked upstairs?
No.
Left me to watch it?
No, that's not true. That's not true, and you know it.
It's partially true.
I only did that with Godfather 3.
Yeah, Godfather 3, that one was...
yeah. Well, that just bored me, and then...
yeah, I'm gonna tie you down and make you watch that one day.
I'll watch it.
And fuck your ass.
I would watch it.
We should watch it, because it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but Bill Maher's special was okay. It did make me laugh.
I watched 3/4 of that, and then I told you, hey, I'm gonna go.
That's true.
Do some work.
You did the courtesy of that was very nice.
Unlike Godfather 3, where I just stood up and walked away.
Where you said, hey, what are we watching?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And then we saw Godfather 3, and you were like, yeah, put it on.
And walked away immediately.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
You got caught up with, you had a lot going on, I guess.
Yeah, I was busy.
Sure. No, that's fine. But I was just saying, Bill Maher's audience, like the audience that listens to his specials is like the exact same audience that's
watching a show.
Either watching the show or that he pays to come in and be an audience on the show. I don't know what's going on, but it's like to the point where at the end of the special, do you know what happened at the very end? The funniest part?
He plays the music.
He plays the theme song from fucking Real Time.
Yeah.
Like it's just an extension of the show or something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
So he has this like this audience. Like I remember being in college.
Well, also think about this. He has the rights to that song. He doesn't have the rights to any other songs, probably.
Yeah.
It's very expensive to add a song to the beginning or end of your special.
That's true. So it saves a lot of money.
Yeah.
But still, it's like it's pretty gay. And every joke is like about. He doesn't like go on the road and tell jokes about other shit. It's all that, which is fine or whatever. But it's his audience that has me baffled because like, who are these people? Who are these Bill Maher fans that are not only watching the show enough where it can still be a show, but also going to
his 70,000 in the key demo.
Yeah.
70,000. That's not bad for
He gets 70,000 views like per episode
in the key demo.
in the key demo.
Yeah, that's like
Wow.
18 to 25, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. They consider that the key demo.
Yeah. Well, advertisers will still pay for that if you do it on HBO and you don't mention that certain thing, or you don't let anybody else.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I don't know anyone in real life who like loves Bill Maher.
I don't know. I've never met a
Because
Bill Maher
you got to
fan.
figure if you met one of these people, they would bring it up. Because they not only watch the show, but they're going to the live show as well. Who are these Bill Maher obsessed? Like, I remember this one guy in my English classes in college. Mm-hmm. He was into Bill Maher, and he would talk about it a lot. Mm-hmm. And he's the only one I've ever met in my whole life.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
So I don't know where all these Bill Maher fans are.
I don't either.
Where are they?
I don't know.
But they're.
We've watched it. Are we Bill Maher fans?
I guess so.
I think we.
I'd like to be. I just
yeah.
want to see where my crowd is.
Honestly,
I guess. My crew.
The journey of this conversation and life in and of itself is finding out that you are the Bill. You were the Bill Maher fan all along.
Yes. Knowing Bill Maher fans is knowing myself.
He is funny.
Yeah, he is funny. That's the thing.
He is funny. I can't take that from him.
The thing that kills me, though, well, I don't know. I guess he's probably a really good, like, businessman for himself. Mm-hmm. Like, he's found his niche in entertainment, and it's the politics thing.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that since the 90s. He's been doing it a long time. Like, he did it on network television and then on HBO forever. Mm-hmm. So he's very good at what he does, or he knows what he's doing or whatever, as far as, I don't know, making advertisers happy or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem... like, about half the time I'll be like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't think he's too crazy. Mm-hmm. But he's like... the thing that kills me, though, is if he wasn't doing all the politics shit, I think he would be a successful comedian. I think he would have a good career. I think people would watch his specials. Yeah. Like, he's funny enough for that.
He is funny.
So it's weird to get so obsessed with the politics that becomes your thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just strange.
Yeah.
The whole phenomenon is very strange.
Yeah. Because, you got your Rob Schneider now, right?
Sure, yeah. He's kind of jumped on that whole thing.
Yeah, the grift.
Yeah, the grift, yeah.
The grift.
What
of one side grift.
What grift is that exactly? Who are they grifting for?
Their audience, the demographic of their audience.
Right.
So
they're just purely out for, like, we're making entertainment about the news.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's our thing.
Yeah, Rob Schneider will go out and he'll do... the thing is, I because you've heard my stand-up, I definitely touch on a lot of those cultural issues.
Right.
But
you're not making points.
Yeah, I have never... Exactly.
Yeah. You're just making jokes.
I don't think I've ever once made a point.
Yeah.
On stage ever. I don't think I've ever made a point.
Yeah.
And... if I did, I apologize for making a point. I'll never apologize for making a joke, but if I make a point, I am sorry.
If I ever make a coherent point, please point it out to me, and I'll stop.
Yeah, I'll stop immediately.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
But I also, I don't think I've ever really talked about... I don't think I've ever said a politician by name. Mm-hmm. In my life on stage.
On stage, yeah.
I don't think I've ever said the name of a single politician. For whatever reason...
Even Donald Trump?
For whatever reason, when I hear that, and someone's on stage, if I hear a modern politician's name, it hits the ear wrong, and I go, oh, it's icky.
Yeah, it's icky.
It's icky to hear.
It is icky, yeah.
Because it's like, you're doing... topical, political, like, what are we doing, man? Right. That hits the ear wrong.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell. Oh, God dude.
Right.
I agree he's a fucking homo, but bro, you're dead that your stand-up?
Yeah.
Let me talk about eating poop to come. That's what I want to talk about.
Exactly.
Or whatever hack terrible stand-up I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just, if you bring up a politician's name and it's like, well, first of all, there's idiots in the audience that are going to love the guy.
Yeah.
There's probably also idiots in the audience that hate the guy, which includes me.
Yeah.
I usually hate the guy, but I'm also an idiot.
Yeah, no matter the guy, usually.
Yeah, I'm against him. Whatever it is, I'm against it.
Yeah.
It's a Groucho Marx line. But there's just so much pressure to, like, you know, or there's so many ways to go wrong with it. Like, it has to be funny. It also has to not piss off half the room and be, like, making some kind of a, like, oh, gotcha, lefties.
Yeah.
Because that's so annoying.
Yeah.
And it's gay, too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's usually better just not to bring it up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just don't even say the names.
Yeah, just
Who
make jokes about.
Who cares?
Yeah. Say the
I mean,
names.
you've heard my more recent stuff. You know, I'm clean now.
Yeah, you're
I'm
evolving.
a clean comedian.
We need to rebrand you as a clean comedian.
I work clean. I work clean.
You're gaining quite the reputation as
exclusive
as a guy who goes to open mics on the last night of the open mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the town's buzzing about it.
Oh, well, why? Who said what? What are you talking about?
People who have mics.
What? I don't understand. Like, it just
or people who have shows. I'm like, yeah, put Colin on it, and they're like, okay, what's he gonna say? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, he'll say whatever you want.
Was that Willie?
Just pay him money.
Was that Willie that did that?
No, Willie was cool, and I honestly I feel like you could have done most of your jokes at that show because Willie was doing like dirty stuff.
Yeah,
you just had to keep an eye on if there were kids running around.
Yeah, no, but look, Chuck and I are the Wombo combo.
Yes, you are.
If we show up at a mic, if Chuck and I show up at an open mic together at anything other than I mean, shh.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's any exceptions to this.
Right.
But if Chuck and I show up to a mic together, it's probably the last one.
Yeah.
It's probably the last time you're doing that.
Yeah,
mic.
other than like Wise Guys.
Yeah.
I've seen you guys both on a Wise Guys mic.
Yeah.
And you both do really well usually. But any bar mic and it's done.
It's over.
It's
over.
Well, it's usually the arc is we'll go once, it's okay. We'll go another time, it'll be great.
Yep.
And then we'll go another time.
And it's
like
the last time.
3 times after that.
And it's the last time ever.
The crowd dwindles and then, something happens.
Yeah, there's it's me, Chuck, and Mad Dog.
Yeah. Yes.
And really, there's only one topic that I can think of that ever does it.
That's right.
And it's almost like you shouldn't be telling jokes about it at these open mics.
Yeah.
But I'll be damned by God if I just, every time I look at an audience of people, I don't just go, they're going to love my rape jokes,
Yeah,
dude.
they're going to think, I think these guys are going to think rape is funny.
Yeah.
Well, you got to read the room, and, you know, sometimes...
Well, that's... that.
Sometimes it's Chinese people.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude... Reading the room is ebonics to me, man. I am...
Me too.
I am lost on reading a room.
Yeah.
I go into a room of black people and I go, they're going to want to hear my black voice.
Right.
I know these people. I know these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, reading the room for me is reading the room and going, what's going to piss off the most amount of people?
Right.
But make me giggle.
Yeah.
And I go, that's probably not the way you should be doing stand-up.
Well, there's more than one school of thought on that.
Yeah.
I think the way you do it is great. I sure enjoy it every time. Honestly, for me, as someone who knows you, it's always good because either you're pissing everyone off and it's like, oh, this is going to be a problem, and it makes me laugh very hard, just that whole situation.
Yeah.
Or everyone's laughing, and we're all just laughing at the funny joke.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for me.
Or Green River, where it's like, oh wow, they really they're doing they like him. Okay. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But my reaction was, I was laughing hysterically at the audience not laughing.
Yeah.
And at the joke. I thought it was really funny.
The one I did a show up in somewhere in Wyoming, and it was at a VFW, and I was like, it was like Marcus Whistler, Buck Sang, shout out Buck Sang, Suck Bang, and I was doing 20 minutes at this VFW, and they're all, should all be veterans or spouses of veterans, and I probably had them for 5, maybe 10 minutes. I had them on my side.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, it's 12 people.
Yeah, but it was a cozy little room.
Yeah.
It was, and they were into it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah. And no, this is a different one.
Oh, where was this?
This is Marcus Whistler and Buck Sang.
Oh, I heard you say that, and I just didn't listen.
Yeah. And so I had him for that, and I started doing anti-Semitic jokes.
Yeah.
In Wyoming.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What? You can't be anti-Semitic in Wyoming?
Right.
If you guys don't hate the Jews, who does?
Right.
Is it just me?
That caught me off guard too, because at the one we did in Wyoming, I don't know if it was one of your jokes or something I mentioned in between jokes, but I was like, oh wait, these people, what's the deal with these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sending your money to them, or what's going on?
Well, right-wingers love Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude.
Yeah. And anyone who believes in like the rapture is very into Israel.
Well, it used to be the left, because it used to be, I used to get screamed at by people who claimed they were Jewish.
Yeah.
And they were left-wing.
Right.
And now it's completely reverted.
Is that how you found out that everyone was lying about being Jewish?
Yeah.
Because you told me about, and you blew my mind.
Yeah.
You were like, everyone you know that says they're Jewish isn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Deep down, that
and
is.
And you figured that out because they were always coming up to you being like, I'm offended.
Yeah.
Because I'm Jewish.
That was part of it. There was a couple in LA that were like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so doing the show in fucking Buttfuck, Wyoming, and started doing that, and the guy, I did a bit about like if the Holocaust happened now, and I don't know if I've done that bit in a while.
Yeah.
But anyways, the whole thing is like you wouldn't be taking trains, you'd be taking planes, and you'd be sitting there flying coach, and you'd be like, complaining about the shit because they're Jews, and then some guy just yells out in the middle of the bit, and he's like, fuck you, I'm like, what? Oh God, what did I do? And he's like, you're a Jew hater. That's what, bro. Hearing you're a Jew hater in like a fucking remote Wyoming like ranch town.
Yeah.
With that weird like drawl that they have to their voice, even though they're not Southern, they have like a drawl where it's like, you're a Jew hater. It's like, what is that accent? What the hell? Dude started yelling at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's your problem? I said, I'm sorry, sir, are you Jewish? And he goes, no, I'm Christian.
Yeah.
Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah. Jesus was a Jew.
And I go, well, I don't know if you know this, but he didn't die in the Holocaust. So Holocaust jokes.
That's a good line.
So Holocaust jokes should be fine.
Yes.
Not only that, we're talking about an imaginary Holocaust that I thought of, that I dream about every night, which happens tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, could
Nice.
not win the crowd back with that. With any
Really?
of that. Couldn't win them back.
Wow, that's solid gold.
And yeah, they
I would try that again if you can.
They turned on me completely.
Damn.
And I have video of it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, what else did I say? Oh, like I went into my next bit after that, and bro, this is 5 minutes into my set. I'm doing 20.
Yeah.
I have another 15 minutes of this.
Yeah.
And I don't have 15 more minutes that doesn't include something anti-Semitic. So I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
And I went into the next bit, and then I was like, man, this guy's, he's going to kill me in the, he's going to fucking, I'm about to get George Floyded in this remote Wyoming town, dude. Yeah.
About to get kneeled on.
Yeah. I said that to him, and I was like, he's gonna kneel on my neck in the parking lot. Like,
my neck.
I'm gonna be George Floyd. And they're like, this, and he goes, they don't have a parking lot. And I go, and I was like, fair enough, sir.
Checkmate.
Fair enough. Oh boy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not gonna kill you. No.
That's excellent.
They don't have a parking lot.
Yeah, Wyoming, they're unruly. I don't know how many Mormons are there. But Mormons, even back when I was a kid, they love Israel and they love Jews from the right. So there's always been, and I think evangelicals, or it's the Christians who believe in the rapture are really into the Jews, because that's where Jesus is going to come back. So they want to be able to go there.
Yeah.
If they need to.
They want to go hang out with him.
Yeah, so they like Israel being there. And they like people with... Have you heard the thing about how they're all actually like Ukrainians?
Who?
Like Bibi Netanyahu. His name is Mikulovich or something.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
It's an Eastern European sounding name. Most of the original settlers in Israel in, the end of World War II when that all started, they came over from Ukraine.
I thought there was Poland too.
Yeah, Poland as well. Yeah. All Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And so they have to change their names to sound more Semitic. Like the Palestinians are also Semites.
Mm-hmm.
Semites is anyone natively from that region, which is not the people who, if you say anything bad about them, you're being anti-Semitic. Isn't that insane?
That is insane. They're not even Semites.
Yeah, it's like we're all running around in circles.
Yeah, they're sodomites.
Yeah.
Evil.
Exactly.
Satan worshippers.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Sodom and Gomorrah. Did you ever read that part of the Bible?
Sure.
It's in the book of Genesis.
Sure.
You ever crack that open?
That's the one where he's... where the guy's fucking his daughters and stuff.
Yes,
all kinds of crazy.
Yes,
yeah.
Which I have illustrated. I haven't got to that chapter
which I
yet.
hand drew. It's just stick figures. Dad.
Yeah. And anyway, I learned about that story at an early age.
Oh, that's good.
And that's how I learned about gay butt sex. Because that's what they were doing there. That's why it's called sodomy, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
And then God punished them because they were...
Sodomites.
What I was told as a kid is everyone in that town was fucking each other in the ass. I don't remember the exact phrase that was given to me, but that is what I was taught as a kid. No, son. The reason God burned that town or flooded them or whatever he did, they were all fucking each other in the ass. Can you imagine that?
Can you believe that?
Yeah, don't imagine it for too long.
Can you imagine that? Imagine it, son. Close your eyes.
Think about it right now.
Close your eyes and imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts, dude. Your dad's like, okay, while you're imagining that, I'm gonna imagine the planet I'm gonna live on.
Yeah, exactly.
In just a few weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to carry out my plot. Yeah, dude, we need to start getting some Mormon bomb vesters. I'm sick of the Muslims doing it.
That'd be cool.
I think the FBI should start getting Mormons to do terrorism.
Yeah.
In the name of Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, right now the FBI has people carrying out terrorism on behalf of Frito-Lay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and it's all I don't know, what was the last big act of terrorism? Has there been any since January 8th or whatever?
October 7th?
Oh, I'm getting
carried out against America.
I'm getting
You mean
mixed up.
October 7th? The attack on Israel is an attack on America?
Yeah, the attack on the American state of Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got mixed up with January 6th, and then I said 8th for some reason. October 7th. That was like a year and a half ago. Has there been any terrorism since then?
I mean, of course, you got all kinds of terrorism going on.
I guess the guy shooting at Trump, that counts, right?
Yeah, you got that. You got do you count the Tesla dealerships? That has to do with,
Yeah.
That's
Because that came from the same place.
Yeah, government.
Somewhere in the deep state.
Yeah.
Pretending to be about some kind of cause that, people are getting paid to care about.
Look at anti-government reform. It's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-government reform, yeah.
Yeah, they're against government reform.
There's a lot of... That's all they talk about on MSNBC, at least according to their YouTube channel, that they're still just harping on that.
Well, that, and you better let MS-13 in.
Right.
You better not get rid of that MS-13 guy. That was a Maryland man, even though he only lived there for a few weeks.
Yeah. Now, that's a different guy than Mahood Khalil, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the guy who did what was that, Berkeley?
Berkeley.
I think he was doing
some
the Berkeley
protests at
protests.
Berkeley.
I think that's where it was. I don't remember the college, but yeah.
I think that's kind of fucked. I think you should be able to protest even if you're an immigrant.
You can. It has nothing to do with the protest. The protest became violent.
Yeah.
He was demanding Dude.
Now, but is there any evidence that the protests became violent because of, what do you call it, when they pay people to make it violent so they can step in?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Because that's always what I'm most suspicious of. Anytime a protest turns violent, I'm like, okay, who wants
Where are
it
the
to,
state actors?
Yeah, whose best interest is that in for it to turn violent?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because, I don't know, I've seen the video of where there's a guy with an Israel shirt or something on and they're harassing him.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like in the video.
Yeah, the guy with the kippah, and they're not letting him get to class. And they're building a wall around him.
That's obviously wrong.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Because he's not genociding anyone. He thinks he's standing up for something that he's been told his whole life is good.
Yeah.
If you
and also if you surround someone and don't allow them to move freely, that's false imprisonment.
Right.
I mean, it is it's weird, technicality and stuff, but it's I mean, it is violence.
Yeah.
And to say that it's not, or the threat of it.
Not letting somebody go to their class. You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You can't follow somebody around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do shit like that.
Yeah, the argument's always, the easiest argument is always, if that was a black kid,
right,
and you saw that,
you'd
be losing your fucking mind,
exactly.
dude.
Yeah, and you would ignore any other circumstances around it.
Yeah.
Including whatever you care about
and that
on
little
this one.
Jewish kid going to class has nothing to do with fucking the state of Israel and how they're fucking... Now, look, that kid's going to grow up to be the most evil human who's ever lived, of course, but that has nothing to do with currently.
Yeah.
Right now, he's just learning his, trying to make marks.
You can't punish somebody for future crimes.
Yeah. Which he will commit. Because he's Jewish.
Yes. Wow. Is that going to be a problem with quantum computing where they have to keep it from becoming anti-Semitic? They have to slow it way down?
I have no idea.
Didn't that happen with AI or something? I mean, anti-Israel, but then people are like, oh, it's anti-Semitic. I think that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I have no idea, bud. Yeah. I don't know anything about quantum fucking computers and fucking...
Yeah. But college kids are just like that. If you give them the chance, that thing at Evergreen with Brett Weinstein. Remember him?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the issue is. If kids have a chance to, be a little bit violent or a little bit whatever, and they think it'll make them look like a hero to their friends, they'll go for it. It's like the... I don't know. It's like the Stanley Milgram shit or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you see it with Luigi, right? It's like,
Yeah.
Whether or not he did it is up for, a court to decide.
Yeah.
But, and a jury of his peers. None of you have assassinated any.
Yeah.
You can't be on the jury.
I just want to say, jury of your peers, since we've been taking the blue textile dye, I feel like the only person that can judge me is a jury of my pee. Of my blue pee.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that's the only thing that can judge me at this point.
Yeah.
That's my only peer.
How many people in this room take blue textile dye?
Yeah, raise your hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pee in that.
I only want him. Pee in this. Prove it.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying about the jury and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, no. Just the fact that, like, you have Bill Burr going on, like, fucking CBS yelling "Free Luigi," and it's like, yeah. So that's gonna inspire someone else to do this, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
like
keep happening.
Yeah, you do realize that this is not where it ends,
right? Now, is there any evidence that he's not actually the guy, that he was just like a convenient suspect or something, a convenient guy to arrest or whatever?
Any evidence?
Or is he a patsy in any way?
Is there any?
Yeah, has there been anything to show
Is
that?
there any evidence?
Because that's what I always figure is going on.
You have eyes. You can see.
Sure.
Just look at the video of the guy who did it.
Doesn't look like him at all.
The eyebrows look off.
Wow. And from the time the video was taken to when he was caught, wasn't there something about the timing that was like he couldn't have driven that far? Didn't I hear something like that?
I heard that, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
A jury of his peers will determine his fate.
Right.
Same thing with the basketball player, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Same thing with him. Look.
But that's a very technical, it's not very technical, but it's like, it's just a legal question. That's different from like, is it cool to shoot a CEO?
Yeah.
Which it's not. It's not cool to shoot anybody.
Yeah, but if you think, like, let's say you're on that jury, whatever, and you have your own interpretation of what self-defense means, right? Or escalation of up the threat ladder, like someone's using physical force against you. Can you retaliate with higher levels of force in return to mitigate the risk to yourself?
Right.
Are you really going to be thinking about that?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be thinking about the mob outside chanting Black Lives Matter?
Right, if you're the juror.
Oh,
God, I don't envy those jurors at all.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, look, man, it may be a difference of like how the case is going to play out and everything, but I think that this one has just as much potential as Luigi to result in more violence. Yeah. In escalations.
And you're the lawyer talking to the jury, and you're like, all right, as you can clearly see, he had to kill the man to defend himself. And setting ablaze and eating a body that's already dead, that's a Class B misdemeanor.
Oh, yeah.
This man deserves no jail time.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Willie.
Yeah, Willie was telling us that.
Willie, with the body in the New York
Willie
subway.
would know. That's what I call him.
the guy fucked a corpse in New York.
Fucked a corpse
in New
York.
Do? I fucked a corpse in New York, and all I got was this lousy shirt.
Yeah.
and yeah, so he fucks this, maggot infested corpse.
Yeah.
And I doubt there's. I'm just adding to this story because. Yeah. So he fucks this corpse, and I brought it up to Willie. Hey, how are you going to represent this guy? And he goes, oh, what did he say? Defiling a corpse.
I think so.
Yeah, defiling a corpse is a Class B misdemeanor. So
you get a fine.
Yeah,
he said.
Yeah,
or community service.
Yeah,
or
you'll
something.
do a little community service.
Imagine doing community service for fucking a dead body that you didn't kill.
Yeah,
and that's what you say to everyone. Hey, what are you out here for, man? While you're picking up trash, fucking a dead body that I didn't kill. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, you're wearing these glasses too.
Yes,
just an insane person.
Yeah, it's a long, hot day out here in Ukraine. Dude, when you're wearing these, everywhere you go, it feels like you're in the greatest
Heaven.
country on earth. God's
Heaven.
country.
Yes. dude.
Yes.
Heaven itself.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna shower in these. I'm never taking them off.
Okay.
Sleeping in them.
Yeah, we got to show up to the party in them.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Remember when I showed up to the party in my Burger King crown?
Oh, of course.
That was my finest entrance.
Life of the party, man. Yeah.
Yes.
That is gold.
And the best part was that particular party, half the people there didn't get it. They
Yeah.
just thought I was dressed up in a Burger King hat. They were like, "Oh, you're silly. What the fuck?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm just a silly guy."
Yeah, I'm just a silly boy.
Yeah. I should have started screaming it like the guy on the plane. That would have been great.
That would have been cool. You're just
But,
yelling, I want some water.
Yeah. What a cool guy. Well, where are we at here? Well, we're at 1:15. Do we have anything else really important? Nope. Not in
Okay.
mine.
Not mine.
I say we call it.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good. Thanks for listening.
Tell your friends. They have no friends.